CEO's comments. We've received hundreds and hundreds of comments. We all have. And so I want you to know that we've received them, read them, and they don't just go by the wayside. So I appreciate everyone's comments as we go through this and everybody's patience. So having said that, I'm going to see which one of my colleagues would like to speak on this project. And it looks like it's going to be, first we're going to have Mayor Karen Bass.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, thank you for your leadership in guiding us through this. Just real quickly, I just wanted to reiterate or clarify that what the vote is about today is about certifying the EIR, certifying the project's environmental documents under CEQA, nothing more. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and we'll move on to Supervisor Hollis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming this morning. And I know that there are mixed feelings and there's strong feelings on both sides. And we've heard significant community feedback for the last few years, both in support and both in opposition. I want to thank everyone because we have taken your feedback, and regardless of which side you come down on, I know that each of you have put a lot of emphasis on where you stand. Ultimately, I want to recognize that the scope of this item today, as was stated by our mayor of the city of Los Angeles, is specifically to address the supplemental environmental impact report. The only reason that this item is back before us today is that the court required a supplemental documentation to see if the project noise and the mitigations are adequate from an environmental perspective. We're not charged with analyzing the merits of the project or lack thereof as we were 2 years ago. Instead, this board is tasked with deciding if the EIR is sufficient enough, as recommended by staff, to be approved by this board. Let me also remind the public that last February of 2024, there was approval by this board, which, if I can be clear, did not authorize the project to immediately begin construction. But if the supplemental EIR is approved today, it would also not authorize the project to begin putting shovels in the ground. The Gondola project still requires, as was stated by staff, numerous approvals that still have to be made. And that include the following: the State Park and Recreation Commission. The project requires a general plan amendment, known as GPA, for the Los Angeles State Historic Park to allow a transit land use within the park. The GPA is subject to the review and approval of the State Parks and Recreation Commission, which will involve a separate public outreach effort and a hearing. Caltrans also must approve any project that by filling out an encroachment, what we call an encroachment permit for the gondola, to have access that crosses over State Route 110. OSHA must also provide approval for the design, the construction, and operation of the aerial rapid transit system to ensure that safety is compliant. The system must also pass formal state testing at least 7 years, like other approvals for Federal Highway Authority and even Federal Aviation Authority. Most importantly, the City of Los Angeles, the City Council, and departments have to approve land use and permits to actually start construction. And with all that being said, I'm grateful that the documentation before us does incorporate the community benefits package that I originally put forward at this board and was passed in 2024. And it is motion 12.1, and it is also included in this package. My motion required strong guarantees and guardrails that include the following: full indemnification of public entities and financial protections so taxpayers are not left with the bill. Robust labor standards, including a project labor agreement and a labor peace, apprenticeships, and local hiring. A business interruption fund to protect small businesses during construction. Free and unlimited rides for Chinatown residents and businesses. And a prohibition on eminent domain and fair market compensation for any public property rights. a new community advisory committee. And I have, could I have silence? A new community advisory committee empowered to negotiate a community benefits agreement, including affordable housing, senior housing, small business support, expansion of the Dodger Stadium Express, and a living memorial to Chinatown and Chavez Ravine. Directives to Metro to study alternative mobility solutions and to ensure any future development around Dodger Stadium parking lots must include affordable housing. These conditions remain enforceable and non-negotiable. They are the reason this project cannot move forward without meaningful community benefits. And I'd like to draw your attention to the motion that was passed by this board, known as Agenda Item 12.1. It is also part of the public record. And for all of these reasons, I can only see myself supporting this because of the attachment of the community benefits.
No.
Please.
From residents, if they feel that the community engagement and time for the supplemental EIR was not adequate. I recognize that Metro met the minimum required 45-day public comment period, but I do believe that Metro staff has met at a minimum the supplemental EIR. I again appreciate the community benefits that we all fought hard for and spent many, many hours with our staff, county council, and with many of the board of directors members. My motion created this ability to conduct this very important work on behalf of the community. So with that, I know that this voting today by the board will advance the project to move forward, but as I said earlier, there are many, many opportunities for public input because at each step, there are different agencies that are required to have public meetings, outreach, and that doesn't mean that this advisory committee can have a say-so also in expanding some of those community benefits. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'd like to turn this back over to you. Thank you.
Supervisor Solis, thank you for that fantastic explanation of the benefits. Can I move on to Supervisor Hahn, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Supervisor Solis, for always looking at every single project, whether it's from Metro or it faces us at the county, leading into your constituents and making every project, work to the benefit of your constituents. And may I just say, right off the bat, yeah, go Dodgers, and yeah, go Green. But I don't think we should conflate being a fan of the Dodgers and necessarily being a fan of this project. Nobody's a bigger fan than me. I was at opening day of the Dodgers in 1958 after when they played at the Coliseum. Thank you. I just wanted to say, colleagues, when this came before us before, I don't know if you remember, but I shared that I wasn't a fan of this project, and I still kind of feel like it's unfortunate that Metro got sucked into being the lead agency on this. I know we're supposed to get reimbursed for our work on this, but it feels like we won't get back the staff time that could have probably gone to some of our other projects that we're all fighting for. But and I realize that there are definitely two sides to this, and we have gotten a lot of feedback. My inbox is overflowing with letters on both sides. And I recognize all of those who want this for various reasons, and I also wanted to recognize the community members, small business owners, and residents who reviewed this draft supplemental EIR and expressed a lot of concerns. A lot of them felt like there was a flawed noise analysis, inadequate mitigation to serious impacts on Olvera Street, Chinatown, LA State Historic Park, and with an estimated removal of more than 300 trees, towers next to senior housing, these gondolas flying next to homes, threats to wildlife and cultural sites. I mean, I just want you to know that we heard all that. And I also know that the public process left many of you feeling excluded. A 45-day review period for a 435-page technical document with only 2 Zoom meetings made you feel like it was difficult to actually feel a part of this process. I just always have to say that I did hear from enough of you to affirm what I believe, that there is a better solution already in place to take cars off the streets, to ease traffic, and that's our Dodger Stadium Express. It already moves large number of fans efficiently, and it can be improved further with more buses, more park and ride locations, dedicated lanes, and if we want to get to zero emissions, that can be done with electrifying these Dodger Expresses.
Please.
And I really want to lean into that, and we've urged the Dodgers to take a look at that, because in the end, it really helps them ease the parking issues they have up there at the stadium, and I wish they would lean in more to helping us expand that. So if this does move forward today, I do hope that we will continue to listen to the community's request to increase service on the Dodger Stadium Express and protect our small businesses along this area.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Hahn. And my only comment is that, just to reiterate, that the action taken today on the EIRs, the final supplemental EIR, it is the cities of LA's land use jurisdiction, just to be clear, including right-of-way issues. So the city will ultimately decide on the actual project. But I want to thank everybody for the robust discussion up here today. And I think at this time, before I lose the forum, I'd like to see if anybody's interested in making a motion.
I'll move it.
And a second. And we have a second. Let's go ahead and do a roll call, please.
Vice Chair Bass. Director Hahn.
No.
Director Barber.
Aye.
Director Solis. And Chair Dutra.
And I.
The motion carries.
Thank you very much.